sprinkle in front. Alexi takes it strong to the cup.
Here in the inside, Stanley Bridges.
Oh, nice pirouette off the glass, off the crossover.
What a block from Jared in the middle of goal.
Oh, big block. Tough matchup to work with. Gets the basket. Nick the slam. Boom.
Sa kabagot. Forward ahead to RR. Bang! Bang!
Na traffic na pigilan ng NLEX Road Warriors. Pabalik sa kanilang mga panalo, 4 na sunod-sunod na talo ang naranasan nitong koponan. At sa kabila naman ng Barangay Ginebra, nakatikim ng isang matamis na tagay at kampay para sa umiral na NSD spirit nitong Never Say Die squad. Kaya naman ang tanong sa umiinit na playoff race, aling koponan ang aangat? Sino ang gigiba? Alamin natin dito sa historic Cuneta Astrodome para sa inyong survival mode Saturday, ang tambalan ng NLEX Road Warriors kontra sa Barangay Ginebra that will be getting back their giant Greg Slaughter returning to this game. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Hindi po kayo nagkakamali. Wala po tayo sa Legazpi City. Nandito po tayo sa Pasay City, Cuneta Astrodome para sa inyong tambalan ng NLEX kontra Barangay Ginebra. Chuck Araneta kasama po si Coach Ryan Gregorio with Miss Apple David roaming the sidelines at ang buong pwersa ng ESPN5. And Coach, tulad nga ng title natin, survival mode, lalo na for NLEX Road Warriors with 4 straight losses. Kailangan nila itong panalo para makabalik sa playoff race.
Oh, definitely. They won all their 2 games in 2017, December 20 and December 25. The whole of January, hindi pa sila nananalo, and the whole of 2018, wala pa rin silang panalo.
Well, they will be facing they'll be facing a tough team in Barangay Ginebra. Alam natin yung sitwasyon nitong Ginebra. They had a 2-game losing streak heading into this match against the defending champions. Walang Greg Slaughter, but Coach, they still found a way to win, especially in the second half.
They were down by as big as 16 points, 17-33, and they held SMB to 14 points in the third quarter, wherein they made a huge run. But in the last 2 minutes of play, they were outscored by San Miguel 9-2. But in the end, they had every reason to lose that game. They did not play Slaughter. They had a lot of heroes in this game.
Yes.
Definitely hashtag NSD was very much alive against SMB.
One of the better coaching performances ni Coach Tim Cone at ang kanyang koponan. And sa kabila naman for the NLEX Road Warriors, ito namang koponan kompleto sila. They've got one of the better rookies in the league in Kiefer Ravena. But tulad nga na sinabi ni Coach Ryan, they have not yet picked up a win nitong buong 2018. And their last loss came at the hands of the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters.
They're definitely struggling big time, especially on offense. In the games that they've won, they average 117 points per ball game. But in the 4 games that they've dropped in a row, they only scored 93.2 points per game. They are 11th in our defense at 105.33 points allowed. And they really have to find ways to win. It is not just about one person, not 2 persons, but definitely the team who are playing at the same time. A lot of adjustments on the part of Coach Sheng Gao because a lot of new players in this roster. But definitely after 6 games, on the 7th, dapat dyan na-stabilize na pati yung kanyang rotation.
Well, the phenom Kiefer Ravena will try to help his team get this victory, but it's going to be tough because they face one of the best teams in the league in Barangay Ginebra. And what about this? Lahat ng headlines, kadalasan pag narinig mo Japit Aguilar, pero kontra sa San Miguel, it was the other, quote-unquote Aguilar, Raymond Aguilar. Siya ang umangat, siya ang dumepensa kay Junmar Fardo at nag-clutch points din siya para sa kanyang koponan.
It was definitely phenomenal. It was amazing. He played out his mind tonight. Part of the quote of Coach Tim Cone, 16 points he scored against San Miguel. 50% from the field. Prior to this ball game, he was only averaging 2 points per ball game. Not only did he contribute on the offensive end, but much more importantly was the way he defended Junmar Fajardo. He was able to man the paint so well on both ends of the floor.
Coach Ryan, balik naman tayo ngayon sa NLEX. It was a reunion of sorts, no, as JR Kinyahan Halos buong career niya kasama ng rain or shine, pero kasabay niya si Coach Yeng lumipat sa NLEX last season at imbis na magkaroon ng masayang kwentuhan, masayang samahan, masama pa ang naging uwian nitong Jer Kenyan dahil hindi niya natulungan ang kanyang koponan na masira itong losing streak ng Road Warriors.
Well, when you talk about his individual output, he scored 22 points, 9 out of 16 from the field. He was able to grab 6 rebounds, but he could not translate it into a victory. That is exactly what Kiefer was saying. Individually, naglalaro sila ng maganda, pero on a combined effort, hindi pa nagmamanifest yun at hindi pa nagtuturn into precious wins for them.
Kabila naman muli para sa Barangay Ginebra, LA Tenorio was in a little bit of a slump heading into their match against San Miguel. Pero nagawa ng paraan ni Tiniente, pinakita niya ang kanyang tapang, ang kanyang lakas ng loob as he shot clutch makes for Barangay Ginebra and also hit some key free throws down the stretch.
23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Incredible stat line for LA Tenorio. He was coming off bad games pag sinabi mo sa level of play ni LA Tenorio, but he came out alive against San Miguel to push his team to this victory against the erstwhile undefeated San Miguel prior to that ball game.
Para mas alamin natin ang mga kwento nitong koponan, heading into this matchup, we'll turn it over to the third member of our team, Ms. Apple David.
Yes, Chuck, very big news for Ginebra fans. Greg Zilla is back in action. Well, actually, last game cleared and ready to play na siya, but it was Coach Tim Scone's decision not to field him in kasi hindi pa naman daw siya masyado nakakapag-ensayo with the team. But now, with a couple of practices, he actually revealed that he feels even better compared to bago siya na injured. So, tingnan natin ano nga ba magiging effect ng comeback ni Greg Zilla. Chuck.
Maraming salamat, Apple, and good to see Greg back in the harness para dito sa Barangay Ginebra. And definitely they miss Greg nung dalawa nilang sunod-sunod na talo. Pero pinakita din ng kanyang koponan. And when Coach Tim Cone said he needs other players to step up, talagang itong si Raymond Aguilar and even Kevin Ferrer answered the call for his squad.
Oh, and also Jervy Cruz, who was also struggling offensively during their 3-game losing streak. Jervy also scored 17 points. So the big man compensated doon naman sa loss ni Greg Slaughter. We've been raving about Raymond Aguilar, but definitely an important piece din doon sa win nila against San Miguel. Not just LA, but also Jervy.
Sa kabila naman, Coach, we take a look at the starting lineup ng NLEX Road Warriors. And a lot of their key players, you know, it's been a struggle for a lot of the backcourt players. Guys like Larry Fonocher and Kevin Louis Elas. Gaano sila kahalaga dito sa atake ni Coach Yeng, and how much will the team need for these two guys to really step up here?
Well, it's very important for the perimeter players, especially the guys being guarded by LA Tenorio, to score, because you have to make LA Tenorio work on defense so that he will lose his energy pagdating sa kanyang opensa. So you have to attack the defense of LA. He plays long minutes for his team, and hopefully he gets tired towards the end, and that will propel NLEX to a victory.
This quarter is brought to you by Cobra. Simula na ang labanan ng tunay na lakas. Jump off will go between Raul Zoyod and Japet Aguilar, the guys in red and white, LA Tenorio. Kevin Ferrer, Earl Scotty Thompson, Raymond Aguilar, and Japet Aguilar. Ang dalawang Aguilar, pinagsabay ni Coach Tim Cone dito sa ating unang yugto. Sa kabila naman for NLEX, they've got Kiefer Ravena, Larry Fonocher, Raul Soyud, Kenneth Iglao, and the veteran Asi Taulava. We begin with a miss from Barangay Ginebra. Larry Fonocher kaagad. Hindi umubra. Battle for the loose ball. It goes to Ginebra. Looking at two teams, Coach, that play different styles, no? NLEX under Coach Yeng Yao, Japet misses that lob. They like to go up and down. They like to run the floor. Pero kabila naman Barangay Ginebra, Coach Tim Cone would prefer to slow things down and operate in the half-court set.
Well, if there is one thing that is very obvious in the teams of Coach Tim Cone, is their ability to defend and keep the score low. While for NLEX, Coach Yeng Yao, you are correct, likes that run-and-gun kind of a ball game. In fact, in the two victories, you've mentioned it at the top of our coverage, he scored over 115 points. And to be exact, They scored 119 against Kia and 115 against Global Port. But they have not hit the century mark in 2018. Only 95 against Phoenix, 94 against Magnolia, 98 against San Miguel, and only 86 against Rain or Shine.
Unang 2 puntos ng ating laro. Mula dito kay Asi Taulav, and to your point, Coach, despite the 4-game losing streak of NLEX, they're still averaging 101 points per game. That's second overall. Ang Ginebra naman, 89 points per game, which is 10. So if you're NLEX, baka naman gusto mo high-scoring game, no? Para talagang kaya nilang lamangan itong Ginebra.
Well, definitely, because that is the kind of game that they like to play. They like that up-tempo kind of a ball game. They've been struggling also collaring the rebound, as we saw right there. Second chance opportunity for Ginebra. Napailing dun si Coach Shenggao. The effort must not come from one guy. Gang rebounding must happen for the white shirts of NLEX.
Good sign for the Road Warriors as Larry Fonacer getting that shot to fall. 4-2. We are just underway here in the Cuneta Astrodome para sa tambalang Barangay Ginebra kontra NLEX. Offensive foul ang tinawag dito sa Barangay Ginebra.
Offensive foul number 6, Scotty
Mapipituan si
Thompson.
Scotty Thompson.
He acknowledged that he was moving while trying to set a pick to free up Raymond Aguilar. Just a first personal foul for Scotty.
Gandang matchup din ito, Coach Ryan. Kiefer Ravena kontra kay Scotty Thompson, two of the brightest guards we have here in the PBA.
You take a look at the average of Kiefer, 17.7 points per game with a game high of 31. You really want your best defensive guy to guard him if you're Coach Tim Cone. And no other guy who can really keep in step, stay in front of Kiefer, but Scotty.
Loose ball foul number 6, Raul Sawyer.
Ravena misses that jumper. At napituan ng loose ball foul itong si Raul Soyud with a 9:22 to go in this first quarter. Aguilar, top of the key kontra kay Taulava. Kasi kailangan ko maging specific pala. Japit Aguilar, top of the key. Kasi may dalawang Aguilar nga pala dito sa loob.
Well, usually kasi in the first few games of Ginebra, you only have to remember the name of Japet because Raymond was at the far end of the bench of Barangay. Not until that game against San Miguel. Wala nang mabunot si Coach Tim because of the injury experience by Slaughter. Yung bunot naman niya naging magic para sa kanyang kabanan.
Napakahusan ni Coach Tim sa mga ganyan mga bunot. As Thompson getting a rebound. Thompson once again one of the leading rebounders in this league. Pero for 3, hindi umabra. Thompson coming in averaging 9.8 boards per game. Two-man game. Turnaround will not fall for NLEX. Rebounded once again by Ginebra. You can see the difference in the styles. Ginebra really wants to operate in the half court while NLEX just keeps moving the ball around looking for shots.
Well, the first option of Barangay Ginebra really is to go for their primary break, which is easy 2 points via the fast break variety. And if they do not have it, they will definitely run their triangle offense so that everybody gets an opportunity to get that ball. Magkakaroon ng magandang feel yung mga players na yan. And in the absence of Slaughter, usually you just dump it inside and let Greg Slaughter do his thing underneath the basket. Without Slaughter, you really have to trust your offensive system.
Coach, right, that's now 2 straight possessions that Ginebra was able to find a player inside. Kanina, it was Japet, ngayon it's Scotty Thompson. Is that really part of the attack also when they don't have yung dominant big man tulad ni Greg?
Well, one thing that they're trying to look for is the mismatch underneath. So they felt like itong si Scotty has a mismatch against his defender, and Scotty can actually play with his back to the basket. So he was not able to make that basket. At least he went to the free throw line, and he made 2 out of 2.
All right, dribblers, open your Moneyball app dahil eto na ang ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball question. Saang syudad originally nakaschedule ganapin ang larong ito? Is it number 1, Marawi City, number 2, Zamboanga City, or number 3, Legazpi City? Kiefer Ravena blowing by the defense and scoring his first 2 points kontra sa Barangay Ginebra.
Good setup job by Asi Taulava. He did not look at the rim. Instead, he made that hand-off pass to Kiefer Ravena, and a very nice change of pace for his first 2 points in the game.
Raymond Aguilar for 3. Tuloy-tuloy ang mainit na shooting ni Raymond Aguilar. Knocks down his first three of the game.
Now, why is that shot very important? Because Asi Taulava, who loves to operate defensively inside the paint, has to come out and defend Raymond Aguilar if he shoots that consistently. If that happens, there'll be a lot of open space for the penetrators inside for Ginebra.
Crossover and jumper from Ravenna will not fall. LA, Ferrer for three. Won't fall, Zoid with the board. Kiefer. Trying to score on Tenorio, gets the contact from Raymond Aguilar, and to the free throw line goes Kiefer.
2 missed shots already from Kevin Ferrer from the outside, and I've been saying time and again, he has to be consistent with that shot outside.
This drive is brought to you by United Auctioneers Inc., the biggest auction company in the Philippines. ISO certified, sa bidding ikaw ang bida.
So Kiefer starting to realize that it's not as easy here in the PBA because he's beginning to be scouted. All his tendencies are now exposed by the other teams. There are games that he can really score at will. That 31 points against Magnolia. But there are also games wherein he's limited to less than 10 points.
Yes.
So talagang he has to be creative. He has to look for other ways to score, and he has to involve his teammates also to make life easier for him.
4 points para kay Ravenna. To your point, Coach, obviously teams have to game plan for a guy like Ravenna. Pero for his teammates also, is there also an adjustment period that has to be made when you're playing with a guy like Kiefer, a rookie, at alam natin, very talented, but also is very comfortable also dribbling the ball for his team and setting up an offense?
So yes, meron ka pa ring learning curve, ika nga, na kailangan matutunan dyan. Because Ravenna likes to have that ball in his hands. So the other 4 guys must have perpetual action, a lot of movements off the ball, and he has the ability to look for open teammates as well. As we take a look at that jockeying for position underneath the basket, a foul was called against Soyud.
Tres mula kay LA Tenorio. Second three-pointer of the game para dito sa Barangay Ginebra. Lamang na ng 4 na puntos ang Barangay Ginebra. Taulava kontra kay Japet Aguilar. Taulava for 3. That's good!
Oh, that's a new facet in his ball game. I've seen him do that in the previous game. So something that he's been working on, and it's so nice to see Asi Taulava still improve his game at this stage in his career.
Life begins at 40 if you're Asi Taulava. Naging stretch 5 in the twilight of his career. A steal by Japet. Tenorio, Thompson, Aguilar, beautiful ball movement, and Barangay Ginebra scores on the break.
Now it's very important for NLEX to take care of that ball because Ozzy cannot go north-south in terms of running back in transition that fast to guard against Japet Aguilar.
Share under duress, getting that shot over Japet. Baba na lang sa isang kalamangan ng Ginebra as you see Greg Zilla and Sol Mercado ready to make their way back into this game. What a huge boost for Ginebra to get these 2 guys back. Thompson. Penetration from Scotty will not fall. Rebounded by Taulava. Ravenna against Thompson once again. Kiefer drafting a double team. Taulava isa pa. Tenorio with the board. Japet. Asi Taulava, so pa-explode na itong si Japet. Sabi niya, sige, foul na natin.
Preemptive foul, an intelligent move there by Asi Taulava. He doesn't want to be part of the poster wherein Japet Aguilar dunking over him. So a sideline out of bounds play after this timeout by Ginebra.
Mula sa Cuneta Astrodome, inyong napapanood ang 2018 PBA Philippine Cup. For the past games ng NLEX, they've been struggling to find that rhythm. And sabi ni Coach Yang Yao, mahirap talaga hanapin yung rhythm na yon if you only play 1 game a week. Kaya naman sabi niya sa players, treat our practices as if it were games. And the testament na mas strict na sila sa ensayo. Actually, every missed free throw, every turnover, miss box out or box screen, may katumbas yan na tig-5 push-ups. And this is to condition their minds to exert effort hanggang sa maging natural na to. This is also a reminder of their basic mistakes na nakukomit sa game. Chuck and Coach Ryan.
Maraming salamat, Miss Apple David, dahil dyan sa bagong Patakaran nitong si Coach Yeng Yao. Alam na natin na handa sa banggaan ng NLEX kasi limang push-ups per error in practice. That's gonna add up to a lot as we take a look at this fast break brought to you by United Auctioneers Inc., the biggest auction company in the Philippines. ISO certified sa bidding ikaw ang bida.
Well, very nice touch passing there. Unselfish team play by Barangay Ginebra. They're up by 1 point right now.
Sol Mercado exploding inside. Shot will not fall. Ravenna with solid defense on Sol. 1 point lead for Ginebra with 4:50 remaining. Ighalo going the floater. Nice move there by Kenneth Ighalo over Scotty Thompson.
First 2 points for Ighalo, and if you're Coach Yeng Yao, you'd be happy that everyone is contributing right now for NLEX.
Coach Ryan, if you're Coach Tim Cone, you get Greg Slaughter back in this game. Do you go to him often or medyo idadahan-dahan mo rin itong big man ng Ginebra?
Well, first thing is I'll play him on restricted minutes. I'm not gonna push it right away. We're in dump the ball to Greg and making him do his thing inside, which is so comfortable doing. But since he's coming off an injury, kailangan dyan na medyo may warm-up pa yan. Just get the feel of the court, get the feel of the offense, make defensive stops, just to be involved on the defensive end as well. In other words, don't give him so much responsibility early on. It's gonna come his way, and I'm certain that he knows that, na hindi pwedeng biglain yung mga ganitong mga bagay.
Well, Greg Slaughter actually tweeted a few hours before the game na makakalaro na siya. So he's very excited to come back into this game. Tingnan mo naman yung averages and double-double of 20 and 10 and 3 blocks para kay Greg Slaughter as Aguilar splits the free throws.
And I've said it time and again, and of course all the experts in basketball also mentioned it, that if there's one guy who can keep in step with Junmar Fajardo on a single coverage, it is a healthy Greg Slaughter.
That healthy Greg Slaughter gobbling up that rebound off the miss ni Mike Miranda. Tabla tayo, 15-15. Mercado, top of the key. Sol Mercado recently coming back this season for Barangay Ginebra. Nasundutan siya ni Kiefer Ravenna pero bola mananatili sa Ginebra. Tenorio still in this game. Started for Ginebra as well as Japeth, who is against J. Arquinyahan with 5 seconds. LA tumikada ng 3. Hot shooting for the Teniente to start this ball game.
2 3-pointers already, and that shot was way beyond the white line.
3-point lead for Barangay Ginebra. LA's already got 6 points. Look at the step back from Ravenna. Bonacher for 3. Will not fall, pero Ighalo getting that offensive rebound, and he frustrated Tenorio acknowledging that foul.
There is one way. If you're Ighalo, you have to attack the basket as soon as somebody takes a shot. You have to be ready for the offensive rebound. That's the shot that we were talking about from the parking lot. Curry country.
Naging good shot na yun dahil kay Steph Curry.
Yes.
Ngayon, maging good shot na rin dahil kay LA Tenorio. Miranda the turnaround.
Michael Miranda.
If NLEX can get points from their front court, napaka-bonus niyan. Especially against this towering front line of Barangay Ginebra.
This is one guy who is the prototype of a big man playing for Coach Yeng. Tough guy, but if there is one thing that he needs to control, it is his emotion. Remember that game against San Miguel? They were in the thick of things. They were down by 2 possessions, only inside 4 minutes. Then he made that move that eventually spelled doom for his team. So, player that has Yeng Yao kind of a mentality, pero dapat dyan mas matalino ka ng bahagya.
Mas control for emotions, ika nga. Kiefer trying to shake Sol Mercado. And that is a tough thing to try to score on Sol one-on-one.
You have to blow by Sol Mercado on the first line defense. Then you have a Greg Slaughter as a rim protector. It's going to be very hard for Kiefer.
Greg cannot finish on that roll from a nifty pass mula dito kay L.A. Tenorio. But Slaughter will have to earn it from the free throw line sa ating pagbabalik. 3 puntos po ang kalamangan ng Barangay Ginebra kontra sa Road Warriors. Hot start para dito kay L.A. Tenorio as he's already made 2 triples in this game. And this is a guy, Coach Ryan, that has really stepped up in these past 2 games, including their impressive win against San Miguel. And for more on the story of LA Tenorio, bato natin kay Miss Apple David.
Chuck and Coach Ryan, yung tatlong games prior to that San Miguel game ni LA, kung marirecall nyo, hindi maganda yung kanyang production. Ang dahilan pala is because he was sick for a week pero hindi siya nagsabi kahit kanino, not even to Coach Tim Cone. Dahil for one, ayaw niyang gawing excuse yung kanyang sakit at pangalawa, ayaw niyang bigyan ng dahilan si Coach Tim Cone na hindi siya paglaruin because remember, LA hasn't missed a game yet in his career here in the PBA. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Apple. That's the competitive spirit ng isang tinyente. Kahit na may sakit, lalaban pa rin hanggat kaya pa niyang tumayo at maglakad.
And from the standpoint of management, that is really value for money. You get this kind of a player who will play even if he feels like under the weather. Against Alaska, that was definitely not Tenorio-like kind of a game wherein he only scored 5 points and shot 1 out of 13 from the field. But for some players in the PBA, minsan mamatay lang yung kuko, ayaw na maglaro eh. Pero not LA Tenorio.
Speaking from experience, man, Coach, ay, magkantuhan tayo sa timeout. Okay, dribblers, ang tamang sagot sa ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball question ay number 3, Legazpi City. Ayan naman, hindi kami nakapunta dyan dahil nga sa Bulkang Mayon. Pero wag po kayong mag-alala, sigurado makakarating din dyan ang inyong PBA sa mga susunod na konferensya.
And our prayers, of course, sa lahat ng mga naapektuhan ng pag-alboroto ng Bulkang Mayon.
Kaya relax na lang muna kayo, maki-PBA muna kayo dito sa amin and panoorin natin ang NLEX forcing a turnover against Gregory Slaughter.
And what a nice Saturday crowd we have here in Cuneta Astrodome in Pasay City.
Coach, we're also seeing Kevin Alas entering this game. Alas kontra kay LA Tenorio tsaka si Jerby Cruz naman para sa Barangay Ginebra. Less than 2 minutes remaining in this first period. Cyrus Baguio against Mark Kagiwat. Two veterans that have been battling each other for more than a decade. Miranda, stop and pop. Kevin Alas batting for that board pero nakakuha ni Jerby Cruz. Kagiwat now wearing number 13 to honor his one of his closest friends, JJ Helterbrand. Mercado for 3. Airball ang kinabot. Alas kontra Mercado. NLEX moving the ball around nicely, trying to look for an open shot. Alas for 3. And the outside shots, pansin natin, Coach, no, halos lahat ng tira ng NLEX mula sa labas, walang atake sa loob.
Oh yes, one thing is they're really scared of Greg Slaughter. They do not want to challenge the secondary defense of Slaughter. And this is the part of the game wherein you can just see the lull dun sa opensa ng NLEX. The best way for them to find a way to score is through fast break situations like that. But it's imperative for them to force a stop, get a defensive rebound, so they can push the ball, outrun Greg Slaughter, score before Greg even sets himself up for defense.
This Cobra move up, power move off the quarters brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. Tunay na lakas. 20-19, we are in the midst of a 30-second timeout. As nakita ko na nung naka-fast break yung NLEX, I was looking at Coach Tim Cone. Few things annoy Coach Tim Cone more than not getting back on transition defense.
Yes, the effort was not there. The shot was not really in his liking. That's why he called that timeout. Take a look at the standings right now. Itong Barangay Ginebra is in the middle pack right now. If the playoffs will start tomorrow, they'll definitely be in there. But for NLEX, remember that bottom 4 will not make it past the elimination round. And NLEX is not gonna make it, so they really have to find ways to win because there are still a lot of games to be played and they can still recover. We've said it time and again, 2 wins in 2017, still 0 in 2018 for the Roadmasters.
Which is one of the most surprising turn of events because yung mga pagkapanalo ng NLEX, parang napaka-dominado ng itsura nila when they won against Kia and Globalport, which is why this 4-game skid is so shocking.
Well, they were so good, of course. When you did not really figure prominently in the previous year, you get an opportunity to get a high pick. They were able to land a prized rookie in Kiefer Avena, and Kiefer was just so convincing in the first 2 games, as good as advertised. But for some reason, it's all south after that win against Global Port, dropping their game against Phoenix, Magnolia, San Miguel, and Rain or Shine in successive fashion.
We have 8 seconds remaining in this first period. Sol ang may tangan kontra Malyari. Mercado bursting into the paint. Pass to Jervy Cruz. That will not fall. In a defensive-minded first quarter, Barangay Ginebra, 1 puntos ang kalamangan kontra sa NLEX. Currently in the midst of a 4-game losing streak, they head into the break down by 1 against Barangay Ginebra. Back to the Cuneta Astrodome as Japet Aguilar. Napakalaking bagay dun sa kanilang pagkapanalo kontra sa San Miguel Beermen. Coach Ryan did not shoot very well, but he found a way to still make up for his shooting woes.
Well, he top scored with 23 points, but only shot 4 out of 13 from the field. But a much improved shooting clip from the free throws, 15 out of 17. And he's been averaging close to 80% from the line. It's something that he has improved on, and he was able to get 9 rebounds. Very good overall performance by Japet Aguilar, of course complemented by the heads-up play of 3 guys, specifically Raymond Aguilar, L.A. Tenorio, and Jervy Cruz to upset. I call it upset because that was how it was deemed in that game against San Miguel, but it was really a beautiful victory for Ginebra.
I think, Coach, anytime you can beat the perpetual champions of the Philippine Cup, tama naman upset ang tawag dyan. This quarter is brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. May laban ka. Sisimula na po ang ating second period namang ng isa ang Barangay Ginebra kontra sa Road Warriors. Kanina pa sinusubukan ni Mike Miranda yung long two na yan, pero it will not fall. Miranda and Greg Slaughter. Great defense there from Mike to tap the ball away. Jervy. Sol once again inside. Slaughter, naingat ba? Ooh, offensive foul.
Oh, just a great effort and very unselfish on the part of Miranda. Yes, he was guarding Slaughter, and usually you want to be in contact with Greg Slaughter, but what he did was he stepped outside that no-charge zone, and before Mercado made that pass, he was there to sacrifice his body. That is one way to really improve the winning ability of NLEX after dropping 4 straight. Yung effort na ganon, maganda yon para sa kumpiyansa ng inyong kupunan. But nabawi naman kaagad with an offensive foul.
Extra effort din siya sa screen na yan. Napintuhan ng turnover itong si Michael Miranda. And Coach, you bring up a great point as we take a look at this once again. Yung screen na binigay ni Miranda dito kay Paulo Taha rather, resulted in a turnover. No, to your point, NLEX gives up 105 points per game. That's 11th worst in the league. So the offense is coming go, pero wala namang day off ang depensa as Sol Mercado lights it up from downtown.
3-point shooting, definitely up there for Ginebra, San Miguel. But to your point earlier about not having off nights, there will be games wherein you will have a hard time scoring, probably because of the defensive adjustments and all. But the effort that you render on defense will always remain a constant. So that is one thing lacking in the game of NLEX. They have not been consistently shutting down the offensive sets of opponents. Over 100 points per game allowed, 11th in the league. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out why they're not winning. It's definitely effort rendered on the defensive end.
And that was not seen dun sa tres ni Sol Mercado, getting that 3 to fall. 4-point lead muli para sa Barangay Ginebra. Gusto ni Craig isolo itong si Michael Miranda. As our colleague Jolly Escobar says, para na sa alligator wrestling si Miranda at si Slaughter. Jervy cannot finish, rebounded by Baguio. Favorite niya ni Coach Jolly, alligator wrestling. Pag nagbabanggaan sa loob. Nice pass inside. Baguio getting it to J.R. Guinea, his first 2 points of the game.
So nice extra pass. You look for low-lying fruits if you're Coach Sheng Giao. The ability to make the extra pass. Passing up a good shot for your teammate to have a better shot. That was evident in that possession for NLEX.
Sol Mercado bursting inside. The baseline open once again for the Road Warriors.
So why is it that way? It is so hard for them to score. They have to make extra passes, but they allow easy penetration from guys like Sol Mercado without resistance from the first line defender and even no rim protection dun sa secondary help side defender.
Muntik na abutin ni Kevin Alas yung turnaround ni Greg. Pero foul ang inabot as we take a look at this smart move off the half brought to you by Smart. Be there like never before.
How can you rely on your secondary defense? You have to make it hard at least. If you're Alex Malyari, defend, stay in front, move your legs, make the defense stop his dribble instead of penetrating all the way to the basket. If you get beat, then that is the only time you rely on the help side stance.
First free throw for Greg. Pasok mga dribblers. Open your Moneyball app dahil ito ng ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball question. Ano ang injury ni Barangay Ginebra big man Greg Slaughter? Kung kaya't hindi ito nakalaro sa kanilang huling tatlong laro bago ngayon. Is it number 1, a hamstring strain? Number 2, a sprained ankle? Or number 3, back spasms? Back to live action with 9 and 18 remaining in the second period. JR Quinyahan has just been automatic dun sa may bandang mid-range.
Just a sweet shooter from the perimeter. He can even expand in his range and shoot from the white line. But again, in terms of offense, he scored 22 points the last time out and now is scoring at will once again.
13 points for Quinyahan dun sa first quarter against Rain or Shine. Naku! Nataranta si Taha dun sa depensa ng NLEX. And Coach Yeng Yao is going with Ponzo Gotladera and JR Quinyahan in the front court. Basically, you're just throwing whoever at the bigs of Barangay Ginebra. Although Coach Tim Cone, to your point, Coach Ryan, maybe not trying to push Greg too much. He takes a seat in the second period.
Yes, on restricted and managed minutes. Itong si Greg Slaughter, he did not score the way he used to score before his injury. But ang maganda ron, nagkakaroon na siya ng magandang timing dun sa game-like situations.
Kagiwang may tangan kontra Cyrus Baguio. Raymond Aguilar. Kagiwa. Eagle-eyed. Our referee spotting that lifting on Mark Kagiwa. Another turnover on Barangay Ginebra.
Bihira na natin makita yung ganung tawag, ano? Pero definitely he had an advantage because he stopped for a while. Oh, very good call by the referee number 35.
Tumama na nga sa jersey ni Kagiwa kaya napituan siya ng turnover. Alas. Stop and pops for 3. Patay ang Butiki. Pero nandyan si Gotladera para sa loose ball. That is going to be a turnover on NLEX.
No chance for that shot. Side away, di ba? May fade away. Side away.
And we know, oh! Mercado with a violent crossover. Pero bola mananatili sa Barangay Ginebra. And Coach, and you know what I've also seen for teams that are on losing streaks that are struggling, they take some shots that are not usually common to them. As we take a look at this nice swipe by JR Quinyahan.
Well, for one thing, they want to take it upon themselves really to lift their sinking ship up. But sometimes it is counterproductive. You still want to go within the offensive flow of things. You still want to play unselfish basketball. You still want to make that extra pass. So dapat dyan, mag-zero in ka lang in terms of the positives that you can do. Probably it's an assist pass. Probably it's setting up your teammate for a good shot instead of just hoisting it as if shot clock is always winding down.
Malyari, shot will not fall for Alex. Rebounded by Raymond Aguilar. Ang kanyang Aguilar, si Japit na nasa loob na rin. Taha. Pretty move from Paulo Taha will not fall. Gotladera with the board. Baguio. Malyari. Stretches, no go. Baguio with the offensive rebound. Tapik ng Barangay Ginebra. Sila naman ang nagmamadali sa opensa. Tenorio. Trying to lose Kevin Alas, and Kevin Alas will be whistled for that foul.
I just like the effort of Barangay Ginebra there. Even if they allowed that second, that rebound, take a look at them. Two guys trying to force a turnover, and eventually they were able to force one.
The steal is brought to you by United Auctioneers Inc., the biggest auction company in the Philippines. ISO certified sa bidding, ikaw ang bida. And Coach Ryan, one of the most surprising stats para sa akin this entire conference is that Ginebra is the worst team in terms of turning the ball over. They average 20 turnovers per game, and for a Coach Tim Cone-led squad, that's not a normal stat for them to have.
Oh, definitely. I was surprised to even hear that stat because if there is one thing that Coach Tim Cone likes is possession. You turn the ball over, you lose that opportunity, you lose that possession to score. But one thing is good for them is even if they turn the ball over, for as long as you get that turnover back by getting a defensive stop, then your turnover is erased.
Right.
So, hindi rin naging advantage yun sa kalaban dahil hindi naman sila nakascore. So, probably that is the mindset of Coach Tim Cone. He does not want to restrict his players wherein they'll become tentative. Just play the game. If you make a mistake, just get it back on defense.
2-point lead for Ginebra as we take a break dito po sa ating second quarter of action. And again, the NLEX Road Warriors, they're currently mired sa bandang baba ng ating standings. They have 2 wins and 4 losses. They're still in good position, Coach, but if they want to make a push to the playoffs, it's got to be now.
Well, they have to start winning games. Otherwise, their confidence will definitely drop. You lose 4 straight games. Medyo may doubt ka na sa sarili mo, may doubt ka na sa koponan mo. You begin to question even in your mind the way things are going offensively and defensively. And the only way you can lift that confidence level up is get a W against a top team like Barangay Ginebra. That is their goal right now. And they're just within range. Nothing is going right still consistently on their offense. But what is good is at least they're defending better than the previous games.
They've actually been excellent on defense. The foul is going to be whistled on the Road Warriors kung kay Kinyahan. Kinyahan, ito na foul. And give credit to NLEX because they've limited Ginebra to only 27 points. With almost a quarter and a half pass already dito sa ating first half.
Very good point. Nahihirapan din umiscore itong Barangay Ginebra. Yes, we see some instances wherein defense was so lax, like that penetration of Sol Mercado, but by and large, in the first 1.5 quarters, maganda din naman ang pinapakitang interior defense nitong NLEX.
And that's even without, we haven't seen yet Raba Luceni enter the floor. So the tallest guy for NLEX hasn't been seen yet on dito sa ating laro.
Well, I saw Raba Aluseni eating some chips there, so definitely he's not playing.
We'll try to get an update on Raba Luceni as we go along, no? Para makita natin ano yung sitwasyon ng big man ng Road Warriors. Ferrer, Raymond Aguilar, Earl Scotty Thompson may tanga ng bola, finding Japet the fadeaway, still no go, and another defensive stop for the Road Warriors. We're also seeing Jonathan Uyloan passing it to his rain or shine teammate Kinyahan, pero hindi umubra.
So that is where the frustration is really emanating from if you're Coach Yang, because you have a hard time making a stop and you've been successful time and again. But pagdating sa opensa, you don't have a player that you can go to and pretty much give you a higher percentage to score a basket. That's probably the third attempt of Palyari. It's something that you would embrace because it's coming from transition. But yung bang flow, yung consistent execution, manaka-naka para rito sa Road Warriors.
That has been the philosophy talaga nitong si Coach Yang Yao, no? Dahil lalo na pagka all-Filipino, no? Really yung equal opportunity as LA Tenorio clipped by Uyloan. Pero minsan meron din yung mga trade-offs na yung closing, who do they go to in the clutch? No? Yun yung mga tanong na kailangan sagutin itong NLEX squad.
Well, kailangan kasi mag-adjust din itong mga players sa sistema ni Coach Yang. It's definitely a working system. He has won a lot of championships from Red Bull to rain or shine. At yung bang panggulat, if you're a scout, hindi mo alam kung sino ipapasok niya, nakakagulat na lang. But kung hindi focus yung players mo, mawawala ka sa wisyo. Yun ang nangyayari rito sa kupunan ng NLEX. Hindi pa sanay sa sistema ni Coach Yang.
Speaking of Coach, I just saw dun sa shot ni Japet Aguilar, I saw JR and Kiefer having a conversation na siyang tumulong kay Greg pero walang nag-box out kay Aguilar for that pass.
Well, that is one thing that you know, hindi pa talaga sila acclimatized to play with one another. Chemistry is not yet automatic because in situations like that, dapat amuyan lang, alam mo na yung switch mo eh. Ayan, another situation we're in. You just cannot look at your teammates and offer help. The best thing there is you have to communicate inside verbally because you are not yet in the stage wherein non-verbal communication is sufficient for you to make the necessary movements and adjustments on defense. It has to be a combination. You talk and then you communicate all the time, verbally and non-verbally. Otherwise, situations like this will happen.
Excellent point by Coach Ryan Gregorio. As we see there, the two-man game of the Bigs of Barangay Ginebra. Lamang na sila ng 5 kontra sa Road Warriors.
Nagbabalik kayo yung 2018 PBA Philippine Cup on ESPN5. Yung tulong nga na maibibigay sana ni Rabah Al-Husseini ay hindi maibibigay for today's game because he sprained his ankle in practice the day before that rain or shine game pa. Kaya medyo hindi muna makakatulong si Rabah. Also, according to Coach Yang Yao, be patient lang and you have to keep on taking the good shots. Kapag mamintis mo yung good shot, okay lang. But if you take a bad shot, dun ka makakarinig kay Coach Yang Yao. Chuck.
Ayaw natin yan. Ayaw mong makatikim kay Coach Yang Yao. And wonder if they were talking about during that last timeout because 2 straight interior shots para sa Barangay Ginebra on the defense of the Road Warriors.
Well, historically, knowing Coach Yang Yao, he usually doesn't call timeouts to tell his players exactly what to do.
Great point.
His philosophy is let them self-correct. They're big enough already, they're professionals, and they have to talk amongst themselves to really find ways to find an antidote, but not with this very young crew that he has. Kailangan constant coaching. They're having problems with their rotation. Now, after a timeout, you turn the ball over, then your frustration will just multiply.
That's a turnover from Ravenna of that timeout. No? Mukhang di nasunod yung diagonal play. Aguilar the floater. In. That's good.
This is a very dangerous part if you're NLEX because Barangay Ginebra is making a run. They're up by 7 points, which is the biggest lead in the ball game. And if they keep on making stops and scoring, then the crowd will be involved. Now you feel like everybody is against you.
11 points for Japet Aguilar to pace Barangay Ginebra in this ball game. 3 minuto na lang ang nalalabi dito sa ating first half. Tenorio may tangan kontra Zoyo din a mismatch. Pull up for LA. Will not fall, but look at Greg. Greg Zilla breathing fire on the Road Warriors here in the second quarter.
Well, I saw Luan trying to put a body in front of Greg Slaughter, but what can you do if Greg Slaughter, of course, is 7'1" and you are barely 6 feet?
That's life. Life is unfair sometimes.
I should know that.
We should know that. Kaya nandito na lang tayo, Coach. Greg, shot will not, rather that's a turnover on Barangay Ginebra. And Coach Tim Cone saying, relax lang.
Now with 2:45 remaining, only 9 points. Yun pa lang nasa score ng NLEX in the second quarter.
This High sa Tibay rebound is brought to you by Eagle Cement. High sa Tibay.
So this is my point we're in. You talk about the defense of NLEX forcing turnovers. They forced 9 turnovers from Barangay Ginebra. But the problem is they could not translate it into precious points. So if you're in Barangay Ginebra, you turn it over, but you counter with a good defensive stop, then your turnover is erased. Maganda pa rin yung plus-minus efficiency rating mo ron.
Speaking of plus-minus, that's another miss, another fruitless possession done para sa NLEX. But that's a turnover, counter turnover for the Road Warriors. Bonacher, atake.
Now this is what they can do. They really have to find ways to make stops, quicken the tempo of the ball game, score early, make Slaughter run down on defense, because if he is there, mahihirapan ka talaga maka-score on your half-court sets.
Problema dyan, Coach, is that the only way you can run is if you actually force turnovers, which NLEX has had problems with dito sa ating second quarter as we've seen. Alright, dribblers, ang tamang sagot sa ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball question ay number 1, hamstring strain si Slaughter. That's why he had to miss yung mga huling laro ng Barangay Ginebra, but good to see him back. Greg Zilla. Aguilar. That's too easy for Ginebra.
These two gentlemen really love playing with one another. Basketball is so much easier for Japet Aguilar if he has a Greg Slaughter who's always a target of double, triple teams. If he cuts strong to the basket, he can score.
Give credit to NLEX as Larry with 9 points already in this game. They've just been hanging around, no? They're only down by 6 here in the first half.
Well, it's not as bad as things are. If you're NLEX, you're only down by 2 possessions. And you're correct, nandyan lang sila, just hanging around. Maganda lang kasi mga puntos itong Barangay Ginebra.
Defensive rebound, that's 3 straight for Ginebra. Ravenna one-on-one against Scotty Thompson. Kiefer absorbing the contact. Don't go. Soyud, the extra possession, wala pa rin. Ferrer with the board. 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Slaughter, a diving Aguilar. That has been the moneymaker of Barangay Ginebra, and they fish a foul. Aguilar to the free throw line.
Now, if Greg Slaughter has that ball 15 feet away from the basket, are you going to double team? That is the problem of Soyud because he was not able to see the floor so well. So he tried to double team, and after that cut, take a look at that. That is exactly what I'm saying about non-verbal communication. Yung gesture lang, alam na ni Japet Aguilar kung anong gagawin. It is not overnight. It is something that they've learned because of the experience that they've had in the past conferences and past years, playing at the same time and winning and losing games together. Yun na yung sinasabi nating magandang samahan na wala pa ang NLEX.
And that's why Japet has been able to get also so many free throws, not just diving all the while, absorbing the contact. 38 seconds remaining, but 6 on the shot clock for Barangay Ginebra. They've got 4. Sol's got to go. Sol will get it in the deep of the defense. And the turnover on Ginebra. So down by 7 ang Road Warriors. Makikita na natin si Wami Chongson for the first time in this ball game. 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Fonacher off a curl. Fonacher inside. Beats Kevin Ferrer for 2. Impressive first half for Fonacher. He's got 11.
It's gonna be easier if you're a perimeter player. You know that Greg Slaughter is not inside. Then you can attack the basket with reckless abandon.
Sol will hold. This could be the final possession of the second quarter. Aguilar for 3. Bang, bang! Aguilar is feeling it in the Cuneta Astrodome. Wala ang tres ni Jonathan Uiloan, and what a finish to the first half as Barangay Ginebra will take an 8-point lead of 43-35. This power move of the quarter is brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. Tunay na lakas. Lamang ng 8 ang Barangay Ginebra. Magpapahinga po tayo ng sandali. We will come back with the halftime show and your halftime analysis dito po sa PBA Philippine Cup on ESPN 5. 43-35 ang ating talaan at the half. An 8-point lead para dito sa Barangay Ginebra kontra sa NLEX Road Warriors. As we take a look at some of the numbers, Coach Ryan Gregorio will break it down para sa ating lahat.
Well, offensively, it's not a pretty sight if you shoot just 39% in your Barangay Ginebra. But if your defense allows your opponent to only shoot 33%, then that means you're doing something good at least in one segment of the game. 3-point shooting, field goal, 5 out of 11 for Barangay and only 3 out of 15. Very low percentage again for NLEX. Rebounds, another problem area for the Road Warriors, being out-rebounded by 9 rebounds. So a lot of problems for them. How to stop Japet Aguilar, who has exploded with 17 points. Greg Slaughter coming off an injury, has 6 points. LA 2 threes with 6. Sol Mercado coming off the bench with 5 points. Larry Fonacher, good thing for them. The lone guy who has more than 10 points. But pretty much, again, only 35 points for NLEX. A lot of problems for them offensively, percentage-wise, and even shot selection leaves a lot to be desired.
Kaya naman 8 puntos ang kalamangan ng Barangay Ginebra as we begin this quarter, brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. May laban ka.
You take a look at the number of turnovers committed by Barangay Ginebra in the second quarter. They had a total of 9. It's not good at all. But even if you turn the ball over 9 times, but you only allow 16 to be exact. Second quarter points for NLEX. That means you're doing a wonderful job defensively.
And Coach, you know, just to add also to the problems of NLEX, Scotty Thompson scoring on that reverse. Sanay na ang Ginebra na manalo na mababa ang scoring. 89 points per game lang ang nagagawa nila per game. Pero NLEX needs to win in a high-scoring match. And that has not been the situation here, as they've only put up 35 points after 2 quarters of play.
Well, just to simplify that ball game, as we take a look at this nice backdoor play by Scotty Thompson. Very nice finish for him as well.
This drive is brought to you by United Auctioneers Inc., the biggest auction company in the Philippines, ISO certified. Sa bidding, ikaw ang bida. Go ahead, Coach.
There are teams that love scoring on the high hundreds, and that is what NLEX did way back in December 20 when they faced Kia. They scored a total of 119 points. 5 days after, they scored 115 against Global Port. But after that, and the losses against Phoenix, Magnolia, San Miguel, and Rainer Shine, they only averaged less than 94 points per game. So that's a huge disparity right there. In the first 24 minutes of play, you only score 35 points. So that means you're playing the game of Ginebra, who has embraced that concept of keeping the score low and finding ways to win in the end. Not because of their offense, but more so because of the defensive stops and the mentality that they have in making stops in the end.
Kuya Asi calling his teammates for a quick huddle. Pituan ng foul itong Barangay Ginebra as Taulava will head to the free throw line.
Well, if there is one guy who can really rally his teammates together in trying to find ways to win, it's Asi Taulava. He's been in the league for a long time. Of course, Coach Shengyao, a lot of championships tucked under his belt. Ozzy, he has won championship in the many years that he has in the PBA, but the experience alone will definitely make you listen to this person.
Asido cannot get any points from the free throw line. As a foul, mapipituan din ng foul itong it's gonna go to the Road Warriors. So only the first team foul for NLEX dito sa ating third period.
Only 2 out of 2 in the first 2 quarters for NLEX from the line. They were not able to get to the free throw line in the second quarter, and they missed their first 2 free throws here in the third. So before you know it, you just blink a little bit, all of a sudden you're down 11 points.
For more on what happened after 2 quarters of play, we'll send it over to Ms. Appledavid.
Yes, take care of things you can control. Yan ang sabi ni Coach Yang Yao sa halftime huddle nila. 1, boxing out. 2, yung turnovers nila. And 3, foul management. They had 14 compared to 5 only of Ginebra at the half. And it's a no-brainer that they have to go back to the basics. Kung basics nga daw, hindi nila magawa consistently, then why try to complicate things, Cha?
Thank you so much, Apple. You know, that's a great point there. When you're mired in a losing streak, you parang ano siya, no? It's a step-by-step. You can't try to get to the finish line right away. You got to take care of the low-hanging fruit, as you said, Coach Ryan.
Oh, yes. And you want to simplify things. And that simplicity is brought about by, again, going back to fundamentals in basketball. That is what they need to do now on the defensive end. You go and contain your man one-on-one. You should not allow plays like this from probably the best player for Barangay Ginebra in the last 2 games.
Yes.
It'll see Raymond Aguilar.
Raymond no longer the other Aguilar. That smart move of the half is brought to you by Smart. Be there like never before as Raymond Aguilar meron na po siyang 6 na puntos. At may 14 puntos na kalamangan na po ang Barangay Ginebra. NLEX only scoring 1 point after first 2 minutes of the third period.
Namamagana naman itong kalamangan na to. Nahihirapan na naman silang makahanap ng magandang mapupuntahan at makapuntos. This is the lone bright spot for them. Although he has only 8 points, but 6 came in the second quarter wherein they struggled big time.
I've always been impressed by how quickly J.R. Kinyahan can rise for that shot ng pick and roll. No? Kasi halos di pa siya naka-aim pero pagka kuha niya yung bola, aangat na siya kaagad. Tsaka parating pabandang tira. Napakagandang praktisadong move talaga ni J.R. Kinyahan.
He has a very quick release, and if you're guarding him, you don't know that paakyat ka pa lang, naitira niya na yung bola. But again, the challenge is who is the guy that they can go to? Itong NLEX trying to find ways. Itong si Chongson finally was able to fish for a foul. It will be called against Japet Aguilar. So just a second personal foul for Japet Aguilar. But Chongson, another guy who has played consistently in the last conference. There were games when he was adjudged as our best player of the ball game. But of course, struggling to get the minutes because he is playing pretty much the same position as Kiefer Ravena, who is playing long minutes for the Road Warriors.
Yongson coming in averaging 8.2 points per game and is also shooting 34% from the three-point line.
A very stable point guard who can also shoot well from the three if given that wide opening to launch it.
Almost a turnover force. Kevin with a beautiful reverse pass to Tiongson. And Whammy finishing. Great defense there by NLEX. They turn it into offense. 14-point lead of Ginebra cut down to 8 here in the third quarter. Take a look at this once again. No, just as LA Tenorio hits the deck, came up a little bit gingerly. Pero etong si Whammy Tiongson, over the outstretched arms netong si Raymond Aguilar. We will stay on the air dahil 30-second timeout lang. And to your point ng Coach Ryan, the way that NLEX can get back in this game, it's gotta be on the defensive end kasi dun talaga sila accountable lahat ng manlalaro.
Well, there's no other way. They have to go back to fundamentals in basketball. They allowed a lot of second chance opportunities for Barangay Ginebra in the first 2 quarters. And the only way you can stop that is again go back to fundamentals. Locate your man, block out your man, and just before you dig out an offense, you have to collar that rebound, make sure you secure it. Now, another thing that they've been doing is they're forcing a lot of turnovers, and that is an upside. But the challenge for them is to score more than 33% from the field. Because even if you get those turnovers, if you cannot translate it into precious points, then wala rin value add sa team mo.
Japet Aguilar blowing by Asi Taulava on that backdoor cut.
I like this Minorano of NLEX. Of course, they were down by as big as 14, and it's down to 8 points right now. But after that timeout by Coach Tim Cohn, they were able to execute a nice play. They have a chance to increase this lead.
Dribblers, ito na ang ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball Best Player of the Game. Congratulations to William Carion Jr. Once again, congratulations to William Carion Jr. Ikaw po ang ating Phoenix Accelerate Moneyball Best Player of the Game.
Japet Aguilar, very good first 2 quarters, although he missed those 2 free shots. 17 points and that booming 3 towards the end of the second quarter was a huge shot for them.
I'm also looking at LA Tenorio from our vantage point, Coach Ryan. He came up a little bit hobbling after that turnover before that timeout. So we'll try to check if LA will be able to come back into this game.
The way I look at things and the way he was walking gingerly, probably a case of Charlie Horse.
Posible nga.
Tutuwa si Charlie Cuna niyan. Nabanggit yung pangalan niya.
Attorney Charlie Cuna. Another useless turnover there for NLEX.
In tennis, there is such a thing as unforced error. Yung hindi naman mahirap yung ibabalik mo tira, nag-error ka ba? That was an error wherein there was no pressure defense done by Barangay Ginebra.
Sol Mercado kick out. Raymond Aguilar for 3. Bang, bang!
This guy is a new crowd favorite for Barangay Ginebra. 9 points and 2 threes in this ball game. It was not a fluke. His 16 points against San Miguel was definitely not a once-in-a-lifetime career game for this guy.
Raymond is for real. Ginebra loves these underdogs, yung mga coming out of nowhere. At swak na swak dyan. Supal pa lang inabot ni Alas. Thompson finding Aguilar. Nowhere to go. Gets it to Raymond. Sol for 3. Good defense there by the Road Warriors. Jongson nagmamadali. Finding Malyari, who glides inside, wala. Pero nandyan si Raul Soyud for the cleanup.
Good thing Soyud was there, otherwise another heartbreak. What seemed like a very easy layup, missed by Malyari.
Baba na naman sa 9 ang kalamangan ng Barangay Ginebra. Raymond, handoff dito kay Scotty Thompson. Hindi ka na mag-turnover. 7 seconds remaining. Raymond na-atake kontra kay Soyud. 3 seconds. Scotty's gotta go. Another excellent 24 seconds of defense for the Road Warriors there.
So now you celebrate that, and I'm seeing in the bench right now, that was a good defensive stop for them. The ball was just on one side, and they were able to foil it. And look at this, Raymond Aguilar. We talked about it. It is not just on the offensive end that is creating so much value for himself and eventually making that rotation of Coach Tim Cohn deeper, because he's also scoring 9 points total for him on 2 threes, and also that secondary defender and the block shot. Wow, a lot of upside, a lot of positives for Raymond.
Remember that Aguilar was actually included the main parts of the trade ng Ginebra was getting Arthur De La Cruz para dito kay Dave Marcelo and Chris Ellis. But so far, it has been Raymond that has had the effect on his squad as he takes a seat. Bumalik na rin si Greg Slaughter sa ating laro.
Well, the biggest thing that is really generating is the inspiration, especially dun sa mga taong hindi nabibigyan ng pagkakataon. And if you are that person who is languishing at the far end of the bench, you just don't know when your number is going to be called.
Yes.
And when your number is called, you just have to be ready and take it from Raymond Aguilar. He is now a crowd favorite for Barangay.
That familiar pabitin na tira ni Wami Tiongson, hindi pumasok pero bola mananatili dito sa NLEX. As they complete another defensive stop. Alas will trigger the inbound. Raul Soyud. That is going to be another turnover on NLEX as Kevin Alas napituhan ng legal screen.
Well, it's very important. If you're a small guy, you're trying to free up your teammate who is big. You set that cross screen, you have to establish your position. Because if the referees catch you moving while trying to set up that screen, that's automatically deemed as an offensive foul.
Aguilar handling against Kinyahan. Battle in the paint. That is gonna go on around Soyuz.
And there's a reason why the cross screen is between a small guy and a big guy if you want to free up your big guy, because there is no switch involved there. So you just have to execute it so well and make sure it's part of your offense.
Sol Mercado's got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Atake ni Sol. Strong drive from Mercado will not fall. Malyari with the board. Ginugulo siya ni Ferrer. Alas gets it over Japet. I think that was partially blocked. Mamadali ang Barangay Ginebra, but Scotty Thompson will slow things down. Aguilar to Greg. 3 white shirts on Greg. Stopped by the Road Warriors. Eto na naman si Kevin Alas. Alas, Kinyahan. Wala pa rin para sa Road Warriors.
2 buff layup shots there for the Road Warriors. Great opportunity for them to score, but they failed to finish it.
The shots are just not falling. They finished the first half shooting 33%. Malamang sa malamang mas mababa na yan ngayon. Mintis din para kay Japet.
Nagkakawaan ng magkabalang kupunan.
Oo. Bantay sarado ang ating mga ring dito sa Cuneta Astrodome. Timeout muna tayo. 53-44 lamang pa rin ang Ginebra. Meron po tayo mga importanteng tao dito sa Cuneta Astrodome. Com Mar Masangid and Commissioner Trinidad. Sila pong miyembro ng Games and Amusement Board. We also have Jolly Gomez, former PSC Commissioner, and Jello Serrano, kasama rin ang ating Commissioner of the PBA, Boss Willie Marshall. Back to live action, the 9-point lead. Soyud has nowhere to go. Kinyahan for 3. Battle for that loose ball. It goes to Earl Scotty Thompson.
Ball is moving. There was an extra pass. The problem was just making that basket. It was a good intention on the part of Soyud, kicking out to Kinyahan, who's really hot in this ball game, especially in the second quarter. But again, a forced turnover. The question is, can they translate it into precious points?
Ginebra has only scored 10 points in this quarter, and NLEX has only scored 9. So it has been a slugfest. Malyari finally binutas ang ring at baba na lang sa 7 ang kalamangan ng Barangay Ginebra.
Just a simple pick and roll play. Defense opted to go under enough space for Malyari to get that shot off.
Jerby Cruz. Greg getting position in the paint. Oh, beautiful defense there by Soyud. Buhay ang depensa kay Greg.
They just have to give it to Soyud.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably 6 inches shorter than Slaughter, but he was there trying to exchange physicality inside the basket.
Foul is going to be whistled on Ginebra. As a Cyrus Baguio is able to cut inside the paint. Makibalita muna tayo kay Ms. Apple David.
Sabi nga nila sa basketball na Charlie Horse. Itong si LA Tenorio kanina, pero tulad na nakikita nyo ngayon, ready to come back in the game na siya in the next dead ball situation. Kasi nga naman, no pain can stop Teniente. Chuck.
Thank you so much. Called perfectly by Coach Ryan Gregorio and Alex Malyari. 5 straight points. He's got 9 in the game.
Is hitting up, and then NLEX is only down by 4 points. We have a ball game.
4 minutes remaining in the third. They get it to Greg. Greg contra Soyud. Kagiwa, tahimik dito sa ating third quarter. Almost a turnover. Baguio with another steal. That's the 10th place in our steals list. Alas felt the contact. And Alas will go to the free throw line.
So forced turnovers, a little tenacity in making defensive stops, a check mark for NLEX. And now, si Alas will go to the free throw line. They're only down 4 points. It was biggest at 14 earlier,
Yes.
at 50 to 36. And huge run here in the third for NLEX.
Coach, you can tell no, as we take a look at this stop by NLEX. Ito ang kailangan nilang desire in order to get back into this game. The lead of Ginebra down to 3 dito po sa ating pangatlong minuto.
Takbo si Galvin. Taratatatatatatata.
Oh, dumiretso, parang walang 6-7 na nakabantay ron sa kanyang laban kontra sa Meralco Bulls. Paul Lee, atake na naman! Rafi Rivas!
An easy layup.
Ross taking it to the cup. Oh!
Unselfish basketball, composure was definitely evident there. Willing to make the extra pass.
Schedule natin po on Sunday, Alaska kontra Global Port Batang Pier, and one a matchup on our main game as the Magnolia Hotshots take on the San Miguel Beermen, the defending champions, rematch ng ating semifinals from last year's Philippine Cup. Kevin Alas taking care of the free throws. Lead is down to 2.
So the big teams are going to play tomorrow in Inares, Antipolo. Magnolia's taking their 5-game win streak. They're 6-1 right now, leading all teams in our team standings, while San Miguel 5-1. What about Alaska? This one, Alaska's fate is so different from the fate of NLEX. 0-2 in 2017,
Baliktad.
but 5-0 in 2018.
Jerby Cruz getting that mid-range shot to fall. Sino kaya mananalo no, sa isang shootout sa may mid-range? JR Kinyahan kontra kay Jerby Cruz. Baka walang magbibitis, no?
ano?
Magsasawa sila sa isa't isa. 4-point lead for Ginebra. Malyari for 3. In and out for Alex. Rebounded by Greg. Biggie will handle against Cyrus. Jervy trying to get it to Greg. Look at Raul Soyud again. As our friend Jolly Escobar said, it is an alligator pit wrestling match po sa paint as Raul Soyud using up all of his fouls against Greg Slaughter.
Now, how are you going to defend Greg Slaughter? The best way to defend a guy like Greg Slaughter is push him out, play defense before he even catches that ball.
Yes.
And he only has to be there for 2.9 seconds inside the paint. So you play that kind of a defense wherein you put in a lot of toughness, but if it goes overboard, then you will be guilty for that foul. That's what happened there.
To your point, 5 foul na rin si Raul Soyud, kaya Mike Miranda muna ang susubok dito kay Slaughter.
3-second violation.
So as if on cue again, you just have to defend for 2.9 seconds dahil pag nag 3 seconds yan, masyadong matagal sa ilalim, then it will be a turnover. So 8th turnover for Barangay Ginebra here in the third quarter. So things are looking bright still for NLEX. They're only down by 4 points, but they have to score in this possession.
Ravena's back in the game for the Road Warriors. Ravena angat para sa jumper. Wala. Alas fighting for that loose ball. Extra possession for NLEX.
I like the activity of these 3 perimeter players of NLEX. Maganda yung kanilang attempt to get that ball for them to have second chance opportunity. At yun, Baguio will now be tested from the free throw line.
You love how patient Cyrus Baguio is, Coach. Na even at this advanced stage, alam lang niya talaga yung tamang pagkakataon para umatake after probing that defense.
Well, this guy has championship pedigree as well. So when your team is struggling and you're a rookie, you have not won a championship in the league, look at the guys na meron ng championship ring. So with this NLEX, hindi naman sila kinukulangan. Nabanggit natin kanina si Asi Taulaba. Nandyan na rin si Cyrus Baguio. Of course, Larry Fonacier when he was still with TNT. winner talaga yan.
Oh,
Of
yes.
course, JR Kinyahan too. At hindi ka nalalayo. Yung head coach mo, itong si Coach Shenggao. Yung assistant, si Jojo Lastimosa and Adonis Chera. Lahat yan may kampyonato sa PBA.
Ewan ko na lang kung kulang pa ng championship experience. Ang NLEX, nako, patay ang butiki. Sa jumper ni Jervy Cruz with 2 minutes remaining. Ball will go back to NLEX. Cyrus Baguio, subukan mag-knockout play sana pero nakaayos ang depensa ng Ginebra. Kiefer in a two-man game with Mike Miranda. Ravena. Bonasher. Stops, steps inside, shot will not fall. Scotty Thompson with the board.
All the ingredients of a well-run play, but the only lacking there was a made basket.
Kumaga everything but the shot eh, no? Pero wala ka namang
Wala
masasabi.
ka na magagawa.
NLEX is in the penalty. Masusubukan si Greg Slaughter from the charity stripe. That is going to go on Mike Miranda, his second foul of the game.
So just the fourth attempt for Barangay Ginebra. And this is where understanding of the game is keeping your emotions in check.
Yes.
If you are Miranda, you're guarding Greg Slaughter, who is 18 feet away from the basket. Are you going to foul him? Definitely not. You just have to play him honest. But the worst part of that situation is they're already in team penalty.
Yes.
So swerte lang sila nagminti si Slaughter. But things like that should not happen, especially if you want to play a lot of positives while you are inside. So 0 out of 2, but they maintain possession.
2 out of 6 from the stripe para kay Greg. Parang wala pa yung rhythm niya tsaka yung pulso niya sa mga tira, no, coach?
Oo, ano pa, kinakalibrate pa.
Oo.
Pero 20.7 points per game to matter of time lang ito na mababalik nga yung kanyang kumpiyansa at scoring abilities.
Oh, Scotty with a dive. Masyadong masikip. Hindi ko alam kung kanino nila ibibigay basta pumasok para sa Barangay Ginebra.
Ang importante dyan, 5 na kalamangan ng Ginebra.
Oo.
Tama ka, mas kanino ibigay
Kahit na.
yun. Yes.
1:05 to go. Baguio. Baguio, instead of using the Kinyahan screen contra Chempo, no, went to the other side and was able to get in the teeth of the defense.
Ito na, makikita natin kung
Kanino ba
kanino
to?
ba talaga nang galing to. Ayun!
Kay Cyrus Baguio.
Nagtulungan. May bahagyang Cyrus Baguio at may katiting na Kevin Ferrer. And usually our statistician will give it to the person on the offensive end closest to where the action is.
Yung gusto ko dyan, pagbaba ng Ginebra, si Greg yung nagtaas ng kamay. Pwede akin nila, medyo nahirapan akong pumuntos dito. Isang minuto na lang ang nalalabi dito sa ating third quarter. If you like defensive slugfest, you've come to the right ball game. Greg putting the ball on the floor, finding Ferrer. Beautiful ball movement here as Kevin Ferrer gets a shot under the basket.
Very nice timely cut there by Kevin Ferrer. Not a lot of baskets here in this game, but is contributing in a lot of ways. And the forced turnover once again. Kiefer Ravena, who was languishing on the bench for a very long time in the third quarter, this time around could not get his timing back.
Ramdam mo yung gigil ni Kiefer na makabawi, makatulong sa kanyang koponon, pero hindi umubra. Thompson will not go. Battle for the loose ball. It goes to Larry. NLEX can hold for close to the last shot if they want it. Miranda, Kinyahan, that's good. Oh, and an end one play. As Greg Slaughter giving up a foul on the big man of the Road Warriors.
A very nice pass there by Miranda. He could have opted to take a little bit of time, but he saw a little opening, made that nice touch pass to JR and a chance for 3.
This power move of the quarter is brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. Tunay, nalakas. Oh, nagmitis ang free throw ni Kinyahan.
Another aspect in the ball game wherein you want to be at least 80%. A lot of free throws given to them in the third, but they've been missing a lot as well.
Bonasher on Tenorio. Tenorio. Tough shot from LA will not fall. There's still 1 second. Ravena at the half court.
At the end of the third quarter, it's
Only a 4-point lead for Ginebra as NLEX chipping what was an 8-point advantage. Apat na lamang as we head into the fourth period, 59-55. Simula na po ang ating fourth period. And the man leading the charge for NLEX is J.R. Quinyahan. The most reliable big man netong NLEX Road Warriors under Coach Yeng Yao. And just how important is Quinyahan, Coach, in stabilizing this team?
Well, it's important because there is a good perimeter shooter from the big man position for his team, and this is one guy whom you can really rely on to get shots off and make it. 10 points, 50% from the field in 24 minutes of action. In the last game, he scored a total of 22 points, so he's been playing consistent basketball, and this is one good thing in the eyes of Coach Yeng Yao na meron siyang pupuntahan pag kinakailangan talaga ng puntos.
This quarter is brought to you by Cobra Energy Drink. May laban ka at hindi po kayo nagkakamali. Yan po ang ating score after 3 quarters, 59-55, and we should not have been surprised as Ginebra averaging around 89 points per game. NLEX naman 93 in this 4-game losing streak.
And
Cyrus Baguio, beautiful drive.
very good start. As soon as Greg Slaughter got that ball, there was a lot of action happening upstairs, but Kiefer was able to get it downstairs. So if you're Slaughter, you don't really want to put the ball down in traffic.
Down to a 2-point lead for NLEX. Greg naghahanap na naman ng high-low play pero sinara ng pintuan ng NLEX. Kiefer called for that rip-away move. So that's going to be the first team foul of this fourth quarter.
Second personal, first team foul.
And small steps towards greatness for NLEX. They're really forcing a lot of turnovers. And now the difference is in the first 2 quarters, yes, they were forcing turnovers, but they could not translate it into points. And after being down by as big as 14 points at 50-36, slowly but surely, they're still forcing POs. But this time around, nakakabawi na sila. But you have to defend LA Tenorio. Nonchalant shot from the outside, that means walang pressure from the defense.
Minsan ang simple lang ng basketball mo. Iniwan si LA. Iniwan mo, hindi talaga titikada yun na tres.
And how can you make that mistake? LA Tenorio uses a pick and roll. You cannot go under. You want to fight over that screen. And if it is just a simple handoff, you still want to fight off that handoff pass.
Ravenna cannot get that floater over Greg to fall. Jervy Cruz long two. Bullseye for Jervy.
Now in the last 5 points of Ginebra, you have an LA Tenorio who is part of that action. First that 3, and the second one was a nice head-up job for an easy perimeter jumper by Jervy Cruz.
It is a 5-0 run for Barangay Ginebra. Yung unang tres mula dito kay LA Tenorio. Sa kabila naman Tenorio, hinanap ang kanyang kakampi na si Jervy Cruz para sa long 2. Matik yan para kay Jervy. Kaya naman 7 puntos ang kalamangan nitong Barangay Ginebra. And these are the moments in the game, Coach Ryan, na if you're Coach Yeng, nakakabaliw eh. Ang ganda na ng nilalaro ninyo. Pero sabi nga nila, if you take off your foot from the gas, lalo na against this championship team, at talagang mahirapan ka and you have to pay the price.
Well, temporary excitement, you lose your focus on the game plan, that's what happens. You allow LA Tenorio to shoot that 3, and the next time is you allow LA Tenorio to penetrate and give an opportunity for Jervy Cruz to score. In the next 3 games of Barangay Ginebra, I thought that win against San Miguel was so big.
Absolutely.
Because, pardon me, Ginebra fans might get mad at me, but they were not supposed to win that game. But they found ways to win. So they needed this. They need this one as well, and they go up against Kia. So Kia also struggling in this conference. So maganda ngayon yung opportunity ng Barangay Ginebra na umakyat ng bahagya sa leaderboard natin.
Ravenna finding Baguio for 3. Scramble for that loose ball. Bola mananatili dito sa NLEX as Japet Aguilar. Pabalik na sa ating laro. Pinahinga muna itong si Greg Slaughter. Wanna share to inbound. So it's back to a 7-point lead after NLEX cut it down to 2. Miranda na handoff. Larry. Back to Michael Miranda. Wala. Tenorio with the board. Sikip ng opensa ng NLEX. Oh! Rip through move from Cyrus Baguio. Cyrus Baguio all the way.
Good thing there is a Cyrus Baguio. 6 points in this ball game. 4 coming here in the 4th quarter on fast break variety.
That is now 644 steals para kay Cyrus Baguio. He's number 10 all-time in steals sa ating PBA.
Ba, ibang klase ah.
Thompson, Jervy, iniwan na naman. Pasok na naman! Thompson.
Piso-piso lang ang laban. 17 puntos in the score ni Jervy Cruz against San Miguel. Majority coming from those shots similar to his last 4 points in this game.
Baguio, switch against Japet. Gets back Kevin. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Miranda. Cyrus for 3. Bang, bang!
Cyrus Baguio, 3.
And Cyrus Baguio is turning it on here in the second half. 9 points para sa veteranong Cyrus Baguio.
Well, make no mistake about this. By far, this is the best game that NLEX has played in the last 5 games.
Almost another steal there for Cyrus.
Reaching
Pero
foul
braso
number
ang
8,
ninapos ni
Cyrus
Baguio. Magpipituan siya ng foul. Second team foul for NLEX.
Alex Malyari for
Balik si Alex
Rose
Malyari sa ating laro.
Mercado for Kevin Phillips.
We got a report right now from Ms. Apo David.
Chuck, you mentioned already Cyrus Baguio, top 10 na all-time in steals. Ang sign lang daw yan na tumatanda na siya. Yun ang ibig sabihin niyan. Sabi niya, hindi nga daw niya ito ine-expect. What he is after is another championship. Nagulat siya with this achievement, but this is something that he'll warmly welcome. Chuck and Coach.
Beautiful move there from LA. Can get it to drop. LA at the buzzer! Little bit of that NSD magic in that 3 from Luis Alfred Tenorio. Larry atake. Beautiful find to Baguio. Punta takayabit kay Jervy. Pero hindi rin bumitiw ang Road Warriors.
Well, sometimes you just have to feel for NLEX. They played good defense. Look at that swarming defense that they did. And with shot clock winding down, LA Tenorio steps back and shoots that 3. And he nails it. Masakit para sa NLEX yun. Ano pang kailangan nilang gawin?
Substitution.
Yun yung sinabi mo, to your point, no, nag-step back pa siya eh. Para makakuha pa ng isa pang puntos eh.
And just in the nick of time, pumama at pumasok yung kanyang tira. And the best way to silence the crowd of Barangay Ginebra when they get into this hype is to attack on offense early, try to score early, and that is what Cyrus Baguio did in their possession.
What a stint here for Cyrus Baguio in the 4th quarter. Aguilar, Thompson. Lob pass for Japet, no goal. But who else is there? But the former UAP MVP, Jervy Cruz. 8 puntos na para kay Cruz.
Now what a combination. If you're Barangay Ginebra, you know that you're good and you combine it with luck, then you're gonna be hard to beat. Swerte na naman yung possession na yon.
Cyrus putting the moves on Mercado. Cyrus to spin. Oh!
That is a good basketball play, and this is what I like about Ginebra fans. They will applaud great plays even if it comes from their opponent. Pinalakpakan ng Barangay yung tira ni Cyrus Baguio na yan.
Saka everyone loves Cyrus Baguio because he's also played with this squad.
That's right.
Mercado. Oh, sige, maglaro kayo sa ilalim. Sasabay sa inyo si Scotty Thompson.
Now, how many times have they been beaten itong NLEX on switches that they did not call out? Wide open shots on cross screens. So one thing that they can improve on, especially in their practice sessions, is being vocally aware of their respective coverages.
Coach Tim Co, hindi makapaniwala kung bakit libreng-libre dyan si Alex Malyari sa kanyang drive. Baba na naman sa 5 ang kalamangan ng Ginebra. LA. Japet. Taka ni Japet won't fall. JR batting for that loose ball. Road Warriors on the run. Baguio na naman. Nowhere to go. Gets it to keeper. Stolen by Scotty. LA Tenorio. Stop. Para 3. Wala!
That's a wedgie! Exacto yan. A little comic relief in this well-played ball game.
Pabuelo na yung fans ng Ginebra. Patayo na sila. Bigla na lang umupo. And as the great Ryan Gregorio said, we got a wedgie in Pasay City. 5-point lead for Ginebra.
All right, ready, get set, go!
Tapang ni Tiniente, kitang-kita dito sa Cuneta Astrodome. And aside from that last wedgie 3, it has been a spectacular game for LA Tenorio, Coach Ryan.
Especially from the 3. 4 out of 7 from the 3-point range for LA. 6 rebounds and a lot of playmaking chores for him. Just a great all-around performance to back his great performance against Ginebra, San Miguel Bierman rather.
Malyari. Malyari just blew by L.A. Tenorio. L.A. Tenorio saying he was shoved away, but that's going to be only the second team foul netong Barangay Ginebra. Ravenna will trigger the inbound. Kiefer's been quiet in this game, this leading scorer of NLEX. Baguio kontra Mercado. Kinyahan, Malyari. 8 seconds to shot clock for NLEX. Malyari na naman atake. Nowhere to go. Thompson with the board. Tenorio. Ayaw na niyo tumira ng tres. Baka may bayanan mo. Aguilar kontra Kinyahan. LA. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock for Barangay Ginebra. Kiefer shadowing former Blue Eagle. Tenorio, oh, nowhere to go. Kiefer getting that steal. Ravenna will go all the way. It is not a good day to be Kiefer Ravenna.
Yes, pretty silent in today's game. Only 4 points, all scored in the first quarter. And he's been struggling. Of course, it's not easy to score over Scotty Thompson. But what is nice is, yes, he's struggling from the offensive end.
Yes.
But look at that defense done against Tenorio. He was able to force a stop. Now he can add one more point in his output to make it a 4-point deficit for NLEX. They're pretty much in the ball game. And even if they're struggling offensively, what is so nice here for NLEX is they're definitely defending.
Yes.
Because in the last 4 games, they were struggling offensively, but it was pretty much like we struggled offensively, now we don't want to play defense.
Yes.
Pero ngayon dito, yes, nahirapan na score only 33% from the field in the first 2 quarters, but we're gonna force turnovers. We're gonna make it hard for them to score at least. That is what is happening here.
Tulad nga na sinabi mo, being accountable on the defensive end, kaya nakakasabay itong Road Warriors. Aguilar, another defensive stop. Kiefer, Bonacher. That's good!
Now, what I like about this 5 of Coach Yao is there's only one big guy who is Kinyahan, who's not really that tall, but is playing 4 guys. If they get that possession via forced turnover, they're gonna be really quick to score in transition. So majority of their points happening is because of their 4 small, quicker pace. They're scoring before the defense of Ginebra sets up, and now they're finding their advantages.
Sama na tingin ni Larry Fonacher dun sa referee sa kanyang drive. But Larry Fonacher has been one of the heroes. Whenever Larry Fonacher, kung meron siyang gigil stink face, alam mong it's on para dito sa babyface assassin. And on that last play, Larry Fonacher finishing despite the traffic. And NLEX is right back in this game. They're only down by 1 against Barangay Ginebra.
If there is one thing constant in the face of Larry Fonacher is his game face.
Oh yeah.
He hates losing. He'll continue to find ways to win. He has 13 points on a 60% shooting from the field. And he's been doing it also on defense, forcing a lot of turnovers. In fact, for Barangay Ginebra, 22 turnovers in tonight's game. They're still lucky that they're up 1 point.
That has been the story of Larry Fonacher, leading by example. 3 points lang siya versus Rainer Shine on 1 of 8. Binawi na niya dito. Another turnover on Barangay Ginebra. That is their 23rd of the game.
Now, Chapin Aguilar being guarded by Malyari, 23 feet away from the basket. It is definitely Malyari who has the advantage because of that pressure. You force Chapin Aguilar to put the ball down and make that pass without stability. That is a sure shot turnover.
NLEX has a chance to go up for 3. Fonacher! Bang, bang!
This is an experiment that is working wonders for Coach Sheng. Can you imagine you play Ginebra and you have 4 small guys playing at the same time?
Yes.
It's just fantastic gamble for Coach Sheng.
It is pace and space para sa Road Warriors as they take on the Twin Towers of Barangay Ginebra. And Coach Yeng Yao's boys have climbed all the way back. They are now up by 2 against Barangay Ginebra. Take a look right now at ang nag-iisang Cyrus Baguio. Coach Ryan, it's fair to say that we've never seen a player like Cyrus Baguio with this much consistency on both ends of the floor throughout his entire career.
Oh yes, he's been in the league. Before, he was just known to be a very good fast break finisher. If he gets that leak out, you pass it to him, it's automatic 2 points. He has improved this game by shooting well beyond the three-point range. And what is constant in his game is his ability to make stops. Look at his stat line, 13 points, 4 out of 7 from the field. He's playing a lot of minutes here in the second half as an LA Tenorio stopper, and he's been successful.
Scotty Thompson wide open. Shot will not fall. Aguilar with the board. And a foul is given up by the Road Warriors. That is going to be their 4th team foul. Aguilar will be sent to the free throw line.
And that is what you basically give up. Because you lack that height, that means Ginebra will have an advantage in the rebounding end.
Yes.
So it has to be gang rebounding for the white shirts as soon as a shot is taken. But Japet Aguilar, pretty quiet in the second half after scoring 17 points in the first 2 quarters. That is only his 20th point. So he's been a marked man. He's having a hard time scoring, but not from the free throw line.
You know, Coach, during your coaching days, I don't know if you can relate to this, but I talked to Tim Cone one time, and sabi niya, being with Ginebra is both a blessing and a curse because obviously you get the fan support. But on the opposite side, other teams play their best games against Ginebra kasi ganado sila makalaban ng Ginebra at saka ang kanilang mga fans.
Oh, that is a very good point. You're focused in if you are an opponent of Barangay Ginebra because you want to make sure that you'll put a dagger not just in the hearts of the team but also dun sa mga fans. So kasama yon sa pinapagpreparahan mo.
Tabla tayo, 75 apiece, 4 and 15 remaining. Slaughter. Bantay sarado ni Kenyan pero ginawa niya ng paraan. Greg Zilla strikes once again and Ginebra's up 2.
That is just vintage Greg Slaughter. Always composed, not panicking. Even if he was inside the 3-point, the 3-second area, he was still there with a very nice perimeter jumper. Now he was able to make that good contest on the shot of Ravenna, forcing Kiefer to miss that shot.
Tough shot there by Kiefer Ravenna. Tenorio kontra Ponacher. Kakampihin sa college nung panahon na nasa Ateneo silang dalawa. Now they're on the other side. Ferrer against Baguio. Kevin Ferrer, the running jumper, won't fall. Scramble for the loose ball. It goes to Baguio. Ravenna absorbing the contact. No whistle. Pagliari with the rebound. 17 seconds on the shot clock for NLEX. A lot of time here. No need to run. Baguio. 6 seconds for 3. Bola na naman sa Barangay Ginebra. Move on na lang tayo lahat.
Air ball by Cyrus Baguio. So it's a 4-0 run by Barangay Ginebra after being down by 2 points. Now they have a chance to increase their lead.
Defensive stop after defensive stop, but Barangay Ginebra holding strong. Ferrer contra Ponacher. A steal once again by NLEX.
Now the running start of NLEX. This is where their advantage is. But quickly, Greg Slaughter is there to man the board.
Where will NLEX get their points? Kinyahan, the runner. We're tied once again at 77 apiece.
You've talked about creating space with 4 guys playing who can shoot the ball from the outside. That means Greg Slaughter has to defend Kinyahan way up there. Pag nag-counter move si Kinyahan, no help side defenders. We're all tied up at 77 points apiece.
Slaughter, susubukan si Kinyahan to spin. Strong move from Greg, wala. And another stop for NLEX. Dito masusubukan ng Road Warriors. Sino ang kanilang go-to guy down the stretch? Coach Yeng Yao sues for time. As NLEX with a golden opportunity to snap their losing streak. Full timeout po tayo sa ating pagbabalik ang huling 2 minuto na ating laro. Pero napakaganda ng handog din ng PBA ngayong Sabado as NLEX is in a dogfight with Barangay Ginebra. They've got the ball as we approach the final 2 minutes of this game. Bonacer. Last 2 minutes off. Brought to you by Cobra. So Cobra Energy Drink. May laban ka. 3 seconds. Ravena. Extra pass. Malyari for 3. No go. Kinyan with the offensive rebound on the putback. Labang ng NLEX ang dalawa. Finding a way to win. J.R. Kinyahan answering the call for NLEX. Ginebra is down by 2. Mercado. Hindi may pagpag itong si Cyrus Baguio, but he's whistled for a foul. So Ginebra will be shooting free throws sa lahat sumunod na foul ng NLEX.
14 to shoot.
Tenorio. 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Larry Bonacer has hounded him this entire period. 7 seconds. Tenorio. Jerby. Mercado's got 3. Takes a look at the clock. Atake ni Sol. Scotty Thompson tried to fly inside. Kinyan with a crucial rebound, and keeper will hold. Almost a steal there. And Ravena was able to survive that trap by Scotty Thompson.
Well, Coach Yang was not happy because, of course, because of the cerebral play of keeper. He wanted to value that possession. He did not want to attack that basket because Coach Yang wanted a quick pace and score on fast break, even if they're up by 2 points with time down to 1 and 10. Because he knows that it's very hard for them to score pag nakadepensa na itong Barangay Ginebra. Now Coach Yang Gao finding finally the right combination to end this ball game for his team. It's a small team with 1 center in J.R. Kanyahan and 4 small guys. But on defense, it's advantageous for them.
Yes.
Because the 4 guys are interchangeable. It means they can switch anybody. Now, with 14 seconds remaining in their shot clock, they have to find ways to score. They have to be creative here.
NLEX has 7 seconds. Malyari one-on-one against Aguilar. Malyari, Baguio for 3. Walang nangyari sa 24 ng NLEX. The ball goes back to Barangay Ginebra.
So this is where Coach Yang Gao was actually trying to figure out the thought process of Kiefer because he knows that may quickness advantage yung kanyang kupunan eh. So nung nawala yung advantage na yon, they have to score against the tough defensive stance of Barangay. They turned the ball over instead. So with time down to 51.9 seconds, NLEX still up by 2 points. The remain up-and-coming games for them in the next 3 against Meralco, against Alaska, and then Blackwater Elite. So they've dropped their last 4 games.
Yes.
It's imperative for them to really make sure that they nail this one against Ginebra. A huge fish under their belt.
Coach Tim Cone will try to map out a play to either tie or take the advantage via a 3. If you're Coach Tim Cone, they've been trying to force feed it to Greg Slaughter in the paint. Is that going to be what they're going to do? Pero ngayon, silipin natin ang standings tulad ng sinabi ni Coach Ryan. NLEX nasa baba ng standings at 2 and 4. Barangay Ginebra naman at 3 and 3. This could be a huge victory for NLEX para maging mas komplikado pa ang ating standings kung makasungkit ng panalo.
Oh, quite definitely. NLEX 4 straight losses. The longest losing streak in our conference. But what about the game tomorrow? Magnolia against San Miguel, and then Alaska's taking their 5-game winning streak against Global Port, who also won their last game. It's gonna be a big event in Antipolo City tomorrow, my hometown.
I-host mo ba kami bukas? Yan ang tanong eh.
Pwede.
Yan ang tanong. Hanapin niyo si Coach Ryan Gregorio pagkatapos ng ating laro sa Inares Center. Siya po ang bahala sa inyo.
Tayo na sa Antipolo.
Okay, back to live action. Ano ang gagawin ni Coach Tim Cone at ano ang sagot ng Barangay Ginebra? Down to 79-77. Slaughter against Miranda in for defensive purposes.
They're gonna pound it inside, for sure.
Tenorio getting the step. Tough shot from LA, nowhere to go. Great defensive stop for the Road Warriors. A shot here will give them a lot of breathing space. But hindi pa kailangan ni Ginebra mag-foul. Kiefer. The pull-up. Wala pa rin para kay Ravenna. He shot 1 for 12 in this game. Ginebra, Coach Tim Cone looking for a timeout.
Timeout para kay Ginebra San Miguel.
A one-on-one play. Keeper Ravenna has shot 1 for 12 in this game. Could not get that dagger shot to drop, but he got some space, Coach Ryan.
Well, it is an intelligent play to call Miranda for that pick and roll play because Slaughter cannot keep in step with pick and roll defense because he's gonna have a hard time because he's coming off an injury. But what I was so surprised about that play was Ravenna went off the pick and roll, so the defense was there ready for him, and he made that step back move, and he's been struggling all game long on a 1 out of 12 right now after that missed shot. And that is why I saw J.R. Quinahan scratching his head, telling his rookie, you have to go aggressively towards the basket and at least get fouled even if you miss that shot. But it's all water under the bridge right now for NLEX. What they need to do is to make this stop to preserve this victory.
And he tried to do it also against one of the better, most athletic guards in the PBA, in Scotty Thompson, and that made things tougher also for Ravenna.
And another thing for him, you know that you're struggling. And you know that other players are actually in a better rhythm than you. Why not give that pass off and let probably a Larry Fonasher create, or even a Malyari who has a quickness advantage against their opponent? But it's a learning experience for the rookie. I'm a huge Kiefer Ravenna fan. He just missed that shot.
That has been really the story of Ravenna. No, everywhere he's been, he has never been afraid to take the big shots. Wala na pong timeout ang Ginebra. Ang NLEX, meron pa silang isang full. So this is gonna be napakahalaga nito para sa Ginebra kung makascore sila, because they won't be able to advance the ball if they miss. Almost a steal here. Tenorio able to handle. 15 seconds remaining. Scotty Thompson. Tenorio, Aguilar for three! An air ball! Slaughter with the board. Inangat ni Greg, wala! But we got a foul. May foul po tayo, and Greg will be tested at the free throw line.
Well, sometimes your aggressiveness will definitely pay off. You take a look at this defense by NLEX. They force an extra pass outside. It was an open shot by Japet Aguilar, but it missed the rim completely. But height is definitely might. Greg Slaughter will be tested from the free throw line.
Greg Slaughter shooting 80% from the free throw line. Heads into this game, he's 2 for 6, 33%. First one trickles in.
It was a little wide left, but the ball decided to go in. So down 1 point. Very important basket for Big Greg.
It is a miss. Malyari with the board. Nauna ang timeout. What a wise move, coach, for Alex Malyari. The rebound and calling the timeout bago siya ma-foul at atakihin ng Ginebra.
Well, for one, NLEX had a presence of mind to do a very good blackout drill on this free throw of Greg. Take a look at that. They were able to block off all the would-be rebounders, and great anticipation by Malyari. But what is the game reset? Both teams...
No timeout for Ginebra.
Oh,
timeout.
Ginebra has 1 foul to give.
Yes.
And no timeouts for Barangay Ginebra. While NLEX has timeouts left.
Wala na
Okay,
rin sila
wala na
timeout.
rin.
Nothing. Yep.
Okay, so maganda to. Dahil kailangan maganda yung pag-inbound ng NLEX.
And not only that, if Ginebra has to give up 2 fouls in 4 seconds in order to send a road warrior to a free throw line. But obviously, if you're Coach Tim Cone, you're looking to try to steal the ball first, because in the event that NLEX shoots free throws, hindi na nila ma-advance ang bola dahil wala na silang timeout.
Yes, but they also have to have a quick presence of mind here that just in case they cannot get this ball, itong Barangay Ginebra, they have to foul right away. They cannot let the clock burn because it will point towards the direction of NLEX. Now, if you're Coach Yao, you want to put in your best free throw shooters just in case you get fouled. then you have a high percentage of players making their free throws in crunch time situations.
The most crucial inbound for the NLEX Road Warriors. Mapipigilan naman nila ang kanilang 4-game losing streak. So much riding on this one inbound.
This is where the confusion is. Because Ginebra was already called a warning for delay of game. Now without instructions from the coaches, Japet Aguilar opting to make that wise move. Wise when you don't have that warning yet. But definitely unwise if it's your second. It's a technical foul. Free throw will be given to NLEX.
Substitutions on the counter for Greg Slaughter.
This will complicate things because NLEX could have, Ginebra, if they gotten a stop, could have taken the win. But now, if Larry makes this, and he does, it is now a 2-point lead.
Now, I stand corrected. I thought it was Japet Aguilar who was called for that delay of game. It was actually Sol Mercado for failure to tell the table official that he's coming in. So still a bad development for Barangay Ginebra.
A lot of time wasted away before that foul. 2.6 seconds remaining in coach. Again, if Ginebra fouls, if that NLEX Road Warrior makes 2 free throws, it's a 2-possession game.
Oh yes, but one more foul to give. Remember that Ginebra has no timeouts.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
that's the second. So ito, pang foul na yan.
Look at the time left on the clock. 0.4 of a second. A huge turn of events for Barangay Ginebra, and Kiefer Ravena can ice this game. If you're Kiefer, do you just miss that second free throw?
Oh yes, because again we've mentioned this, wala nang timeout, but if you can make 2, for all intents and purposes, the game is all over as well. So, but Kiefer missed that one. He can afford to miss this one.
4 of 5 from the stripe para kay Kiefer Ravena. Pang-quotient din yan. Sayang din
Tama
yan.
rin, yes.
Sayang, Ravena at the stripe. Takes care of that second. Can Ginebra find a prayer? That is an answer to NLEX Road Warriors. A miraculous, tough, gritty, lahat na lang na pwede mong sabihin ginawa ng NLEX to find a way to win and snap their 4-game losing streak. Coach Ryan, wala kang masasabi sa effort na pinakita ng NLEX fighting through adversity, struggling from the field. They found a way because of their defense.
A lot of uncertainties coming into this ball game, but definitely a lot of big-time players from experienced players like Cyrus Baguio.
This bar move of the quarter is brought to you by Cobra Energy. Drink tunay na lakas. And this was a total team effort for NLEX. They win 81-78. Their 4-game losing streak is snapped. Samantala naman, Ginebra unable to get 2 straight. Unable to finish with a win. As we take a look at our Bida player of the game and coach, wala tayong masabi. It has been the veterans of NLEX that stepped up, lalo na si Larry Pancer.
When you try to look for guys who can win your ball games, you look at veterans. And this time around, it was, of course, aside from Cyrus Baguio, Larry Pancer. 17 points, huge 4th quarter for him. And they called upon this guy to finally notch a victory after 5 games. And the first one in 2018.
Silipin natin ang ating team standings. No, Barangay Ginebra dropped to 3 and 4. All of a sudden, tabla sila ng Phoenix Fuel Masters and the NLEX Road Warriors. No one wanting to get in the bottom 4 dahil outright elimination na po yan. So what a huge win for NLEX to get this victory.
Things didn't look like it if you're a Road Warrior fan, especially when Ginebra jumped to a 14-point lead at 50-36. But I just have to give credit doon naman sa gamble ni Coach Heng Giao using 4 small guys. Yes, they lack that height, but they definitely more than compensated with their quickness. And then NLEX supporters definitely happy in today's ball game, especially their Vice President Glenn Campos, who celebrated his birthday last week. And with his victory, yun talaga ang kanyang pinagdasal.
Answered prayer para sa buong pwersa ng Road Warriors, and it was a slow start for NLEX once again in this first half. Narito LA Tenorio, ganda ng pinakita sa kanyang shooting, lumamang ng isa ang Barangay Ginebra sa katapusan ng first quarter. In the second, a lot more of that as Ginebra found success getting into Greg. That would be the theme of the second quarter, but as you see here, this final shot from Jabit Aguilar. At this point, akala natin nararantada na ang Barangay Ginebra. Pero ang ganda ng sagot ng NLEX, hindi sila bumiti ng third quarter.
Oh yes, well, third quarter was actually worse for NLEX because this is the quarter wherein they were down by as big as 14 points,
right.
di ba? At 50 to 36, if I'm not mistaken. But because of the tenacity on defense, a lot of guys, especially the vets, came into play. They were able to cut down that 8-point deficit at the end of the first two quarters, so only 3 at the end of the third.
And turnover for the story for the game for Barangay Ginebra. Para naman sa NLEX, it was guys like J.R. Tinyahan and Larry Ponesher just finding a way and making sure that their defense holds strong in the clutch. This was the last sequence of Ginebra. Greg Slaughter was tested at the free throw line.
Well, just to simplify this last few possessions, Greg Slaughter made the first one,
Misses.
and he missed the second one. With that time left, Alex Malyari was able to get that rebound, but before this inbounds play, a delay of game was called against Barangay Ginebra because of Sol Mercado's failure to inform the table official that he's going to come in. And as a result, one free throw for NLEX. Keeper Avena was fouled, he was 1 out of 2, but simply not enough time. No more timeouts left for Barangay Ginebra. And in the end, NLEX, after losing all their 4 games in January, in February at least, they were able to win their first game.
Bagong taon, bagong buhay para sa NLEX. Baka Chinese New Year talaga yung ano. Yan yung bagong taon para sa kanila. Hindi pa counted daw ang 2018. Okay, take a look at some of the numbers. This was really a slugfest, to say the least. Both teams shot in the 30% sa field goals. NLEX was able to get an advantage on free throws, and their defense also. And what about the turnover numbers, Coach? 24 for Ginebra.
That is too much, and credit half that, of course, doon sa depensa na pinakita ng NLEX. But a lot of unforced turnovers also for Barangay Ginebra in the fourth quarter. They paid big because of 2 things. Failure to execute their offense. As a result, they turned it over, and then their free throws. Too many mistakes, too many missed shots, which did not materialize, and in the end, they just lost.
21 points for Japeth Aguilar to lead Ginebra. Larry Ponesher naman para sa NLEX. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to cover this game from beginning to end. Kasama ninyong lahat. Para kay Coach Ryan Gregorian, Mazapol David, ako po si Chuck Araneta at ang buong pwersa ng ESPN 5. Live na live po ang PBA Philippine Cup. Thank you so much for watching us here on ESPN 5.